Do you know compound interest can work both for you and against you? Well, let's talk about compound interest first of all. Everybody knows that money doubles based on the rule of 72. Well, if you didn't know that, let me help you understand how that works. You can take any number and divide it into 72, and that's how many years it takes for money to double. So for example, if you take 10%, the good old days, and divide it into 72, that tells you that your money will double every 7.2 years. And it works with every number. But let's talk about the doubling. 2 goes to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. That's easy, right? Here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Procrastination will not take 2 going to 4 or 4 going to 8 away. No. Unfortunately, the longer you wait to get started or the longer you procrastinate to save the money that you should save for retirement or to actually understand how your money is compounding, you don't miss the 2 and 4 and 8 on the front end. But can you imagine the longer you wait or the more you procrastinate, that 128 not getting to 256 or that 256 not getting to over 500? And what if there were zeros at the end of it? That's right. 2 going to 4 is not a big deal, but 200,000 going to 500,000 is a big deal. Now, when I said interest doubling compound interest can actually hurt you or help you, how could it hurt you? Of course, procrastination is what I just talked about. But here's another way that it can hurt you. You know, if you don't understand this, the money doubling works the opposite way too. Inflation. Now, we haven't had that word in a good number of years, but when you're trying to figure out how much money you need in retirement, you can't just set a level amount. If somebody said the 4% rule works, which is a whole nother story because it doesn't, but if the 4% rule worked and you had $1 million, you'd have $40,000 a year. God willing, and the creek don't rise, you get 4% every year, you'd have 40,000 every year, and you'd still have your $1 million. But here's the problem with that. Inflation, even when it was lower than it is right now, that's eating into the buying power of that $40,000. So you see, just as money doubles, it goes backwards too. You get half as much at a 7.2% inflation rate every 10 years. So think about that when you're doing your retirement income planning. You must take inflation and the rising cost of goods into consideration. Again, compound interest can be your friend or it can be your foe. You decide, but get educated and talk to a professional that can help you really understand how to protect yourself against that declining dollar in retirement.